me.
Kizzy's Friday Game Changers, taking your business to the next level.
Coming up on Kizzy's Friday Game Changers.
One of the biggest questions we need to ask in business is what is needed here? And what is needed here today is not what was needed yesterday. Things are changing so fast. And therefore you have to break off of autopilot to have a look at yourself in the cold light of day and say, actually, how am I dealing with the opportunities around me that are here and present on this particularly unique opportunity of the day?
Hello, entrepreneurs. My name is Hernani Alves. I'm the CEO of Balanced IQ Leadership. Congratulations on your journey. It's probably a dream that you've been wanting to pursue for such a long time. And I can tell you right now, it's not going to be easy. And if you talk to these successful entrepreneurs, they're going to tell you the journey is not easy, but it is a fun journey as you're going through. So, wanted to give you some advice on things that you should really do along this journey. And it's balanced accountability. So it starts with, there's 3 P's. So just remember the 3 P's. The first one is personal accountability. Looking at yourself first. The most important person in your business is you. You've got to take care of yourself. Make sure you're out there and learning new information, but also make sure that you're open to feedback from your team and go into these meetings listening. Your idea isn't always going to be the best one in that room. That's okay. Make sure you're able to listen and gather those ideas so then your team can go out there and execute and they have that ownership. That's the first P. The second P is positive accountability. Catching people doing things right. Don't be that gotcha manager or that seagull manager where they just kind of come in, they poop on whatever's going on and they take off. That's a gotcha manager. What you want to do is go in and catch people doing things right and magnify that. Because once you magnify that positivity, that's what starts to take your company from good to great. And more people will want to get that recognition. And then the last and final P, performance accountability. This is the big one. This is where most leaders directly want to go to first. But first, before you do that, you got to do your personal accountability and your positive accountability. Performance-based accountability, what that is, it's having a metric, something that you can measure. So anything that you're going to roll out in your company initiatives, can you truly measure it? Do you know if you're succeeding or not? And make it a public scoreboard. Make it a public scoreboard for yourself, for your employees, so they can see exactly where they're at all times. You can praise the ones that are doing well, and then the bottom performers, you're gonna go in there and coach them and improve them to get to that next level, and they will appreciate that feedback. Well, congratulations, entrepreneur. Enjoy this ride. It will be quick and fast and very rewarding.
Welcome to Kizzy's Friday Game Changers
with your host Kizzy and Quacha,
a show for innovators and motivators, people just like you.
Kizzy is a publisher of Business Game Changer magazine, editor of the successful Woman in Business book series and the best-selling Every Entrepreneur's Guide series. Every week, Kizzy and his guests provide you with the tools you need to take your game-changing business to the next level.
Listen, learn and innovate.
Now meet your host, your mentor and your fellow game changer, Kizzy and Quacha.
Hello and welcome to Kizzy's Friday Game Changers. My next guest has some 25 years experience helping businesses and counts large brands such as ITV, Prudential and Sky amongst the clients he's helped transform their business. He's also launched a new social enterprise talking therapy program called Talk It Out, which has been proven to help reduce stress levels and increase self-awareness. I think we could all do with some of that. Today I'm talking to Chris Barez-Brown, founder of personal energy business Upping Your Elvis. Put the cat out, take the phone off the hook. It's Friday, I'm Kizzy, and this is Kizzy's Friday Game Changers.
I'm Joel Kern, founder of Make Believe International Theatre Schools, and my Friday would not be complete without Kizzy's Fridays Game Changers.
Welcome to the show. This week's guest has created an almost mythical reputation for his work helping senior business people become more energetic and collaborative. With his guidance, game-changing entrepreneurs like you learn how to get their energy levels right and bring their talent to life in business. I've been so looking forward to this conversation. Today, I'm talking to none other than Chris Barez-Brown, founder of personal energy business Upping Your Elvis. Chris, it's great to have you with us.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here, Kizzy.
I'm really pleased you could join us, Chris. Hey, how was your holiday? You've just come back from Italy, haven't you?
Oh, man, I would rarely say this. I think it was the best holiday I've ever had. I was up in South Tyrol, northern Italy, and it was mega. Loved it.
Oh, wow. I reckon the only thing that could have made that holiday any better would have been if you'd taken me with you.
Well, next time. I tell you what, it's a great place to visit. Amazing landscape, swimming in the lake every day, beautiful people, lots of exercise. I had a great time.
It does sound brilliant. Let's talk about business for a second. Tell me about Upping Your Elvis. How did the idea for the agency come about?
Well, the name was inspired by Bono. When he was doing his Third World Debt campaign, he used to go into organizations and wanted to work out who to play with really quickly. So he used to ask what I think is a fantastic question. He used to ask, who's Elvis round here? Now, when you ask that question, people can answer it immediately, because what you're really saying here is who's got loads of energy about them, who's a bit disruptive, they break the rules, they have fun with it, they're a bit of a brand, a bit of a maverick, they get stuff done. And I fundamentally believe that business needs more Elvis now than ever. And I also know we've all got a bit more Elvis to bring. We just need to know how to tap the energy to make every day a bit more extraordinary. And that's what we do. We help organizations get their energy right to get their extraordinary on.
I love the sound of that. In practical terms, when it comes to helping a business get its energy right, what would you do? I mean, in practical terms, what would you do? Are we talking about seminars, conferences, one-to-one coaching? What's the process involve?
Yeah, well, we do everything from lots of keynote speeches, which are all about kind of inspiration and some simple things they can do. We work with boards and leadership teams to help them work better together, up to full change programs. We've just been working with a financial institution that's just going through a merger and a demerger, and they needed to work out how to play better together. So we give them some behavior approaches. So we do all sorts of things at different scales, but ultimately at the heart of it, it's all how do people show up on a daily basis to bring the right energy, behaviors, and attitude to make sure that each day counts. And we can do that obviously through lots of different facets.
Well, I know I said in my intro earlier that you've got this almost mythical reputation for the work that you do. But I'm wondering, during the earlier years of Upping Your Elvis, how did you get the agency up and running? What sort of challenges did you face and how did you overcome them?
It's a really good question. So I think when I started out, I had masses of belief, which is absolutely key. Without that, you don't go very far. And I think I also had a pretty clear understanding of what it was that I was doing that was different, that added value. And I think that clarity just helps you through. And then actually having a name like Upping Your Elvis, it's very useful because it's polarizing. So you only get people showing up saying, hey, I want to play with you, if they are up for life, up for having some fun, not taking themselves too seriously, and understand that business needs a shakeup. So actually the whole kind of positioning of the business made a difference. And then obviously, I've been working in this field for a while, so I've got a reputation. So, people that wanted to come and play kind of, got word relatively quickly. And then the key thing is the first piece of work you got to do has got to be great, right? Because it's all word of mouth. It doesn't matter, who you are, how much budget you've got, how much marketing you do. Ultimately, you're only as good as your last gig. So just make them work.
And these gigs that you do, are they all over the world or are you primarily focused on the UK?
No, all over the world. In fact, the first gig I did with this business was for Caesars over in Las Vegas. So that was my first one, which was obviously very Elvis.
Wow, you're right. That does sound amazing. I'm wondering, are there any YouTube videos of you in action? Because I think that if I watched you on YouTube, I'd probably learn a hell of a lot just by seeing you in action.
Yeah, there's a fair few videos of me about. I mean, I have been doing it for a while. I'm constantly learning, Kizzy, as we all are. I'm sure some of the things that I do, you'd look at and go, "Oh my Lord, that boy needs some help." But I do get good feedback. Largely, I think, because the stuff that I do, I'm really passionate about, and I fundamentally believe that we don't have that much time on this planet. A third of our days are work days. If we're not loving them and coming with our A game every day, it's a terrible waste of life. And I really want to help people make sure that they remember that they're amazing, they can do amazing work. So I think that comes over in the way I communicate. I think that comes over in the way I am on stage. So watch some of the videos and let me know. I've done a TED Talk So that's easily accessible. And you can let me know afterwards, Kizzy.
I think I will, Chris, definitely. Let's talk strategy for a second. What would you say was the one strategy that's helped you grow your business, Chris?
Well, interestingly, the thing that I think has helped me the most, and this is slightly odd, and it annoys the hell out of my team on occasion, is when things are working, I break them. And I think that's a slightly weird thing to do, because usually when things are working, what people do is say, how can I turn the handle and build on that success? And what I tend to do is quite the opposite. And it's, to a lot of people, that it doesn't really make good logic. But for me, I always find I get more energy out of doing new and different things. And although something will take you to a particular level, it will not necessarily guarantee that you can keep just, growing it and multiplying it in that direction. And therefore, I like to pull things back to basics again and start again quite regularly. And take all the learning that you've had, for sure, but play with the model. So that's my thing. I like to break things and then see what we've got.
So that's a process of almost deconstructing your success and then start figuring out why it worked and doing something different as well. Exactly,
because I think one of the problems is that in business, and this is all to do with our design, is we're so habituated. We are designed to live our life on autopilot, and that's kind of the way our brain works. Therefore, what tends to happen is you do some work, it goes relatively well, obviously, you get some good feedback from it. You then start to believe that's who you are, and therefore you just keep doing the same stuff. And if you keep doing that, you don't really challenge the norms, you don't really challenge who you are and how the world has changed. Because one of the biggest questions we need to ask in business is, what is needed here? And what is needed here today is not what was needed yesterday. Things are changing so fast. And therefore, you have to break off of autopilot to have a look at yourself in the cold light of day and say, actually, how am I dealing with the opportunities around me that are here and present on this particular unique opportunity of a day, as opposed to what I've been doing before? And it's so easy for people just to get caught in those ruts and just keep doing the same old. And I really fight against that.
You sound like one of the very few 10% of the population that feels comfortable with uncertainty.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, let's face it, we all pucker up a little bit when there's uncertainty, because actually, again, our design is such that, we don't like risk. We don't like new things. We've got this caveman brain that's all about survival. And therefore, if we see something new, we assume it's going to eat us. And therefore, we can't help but have a bit of a negative reaction. However, my job is all about helping people deal with that and helping people embrace change and newness. And therefore, if I'm not doing it, I'm not doing a great job and I'm not role modeling it. When I face, disrupting my business, there is a nervous anxiety that comes with it. But you know what? That feels exactly the same as excitement, and it all comes down to how you brand it. So I choose to be excited by doing things that are new and different. And I'd say 9 times out of 10, that's exactly what shows up. And if it comes as a bit of anxiety every now and again, guess what? That's life. You just got to learn to live with it, haven't you?
That makes perfect sense. I was just thinking about what you said earlier about when something works, your instinctive reaction is to break it and to try something new. And that then, of course, leads to that feeling of uncertainty, because you're not quite sure if what you're doing new is going to be a success or if it's going to lead to a cataclysmic failure. Talking about failure, what's the one thing that you got wrong as an entrepreneur? And what did you learn from it?
Oh, I've had so many, to be honest, Kizzy. So many. So when I wrote my last book, Wake Up, I partnered with a very big brand, one of the biggest on the globe, to make an app that was going to help people, wake up and get off autopilot. And it was an unmitigated failure. And the reason being is they changed their strategy halfway through the build, and therefore all of a sudden the budget disappeared, and it was all basically, it was only going to work if they promoted it. And it was great learning for me, because what I'd done is I'd put all of my success in somebody else's hands, and because it was a big, shiny, exciting success, I kind of didn't listen to my intuition, which is, hold on a second, this isn't necessarily your game anymore, it's somebody else's. And I got bitten. It was a good gamble, it was a good game change. It would have been a massive step up for us. It did not work, and it wasted a lot of time, a lot of money. But hey, you know what? I can give you 10 other examples that have worked. If you don't take a few on the chin every now and again, you don't learn. So, It was painful. I've definitely learnt my lessons from it, but if I was given the opportunity again, I wouldn't shy away.
Well, in my book, it doesn't sound like a failure at all, because it sounds as though you've learnt a really important lesson, and the price of learning a lesson is that you have to experience a setback. It
is. You've got to put yourself out there, right? You've got to take some risk, otherwise you don't go nowhere. And it's just how you deal with that. And the great thing is, it's, as long as your energy is right, you surround yourself by positive people who are supportive and understand why you're taking these risks, then I think you can only win, truth be told. Now, it's all about a portfolio approach. You need to do numerous things, because actually the 3 out of 10s you need to convert quickly and learn from to create more 10s. But that's the approach, and I love it because it's a brilliant game to play. That makes so much sense. Listen to your intuition, listen to your gut instinct, surround yourself with positive people, and always keep moving forward. I think we can all relate to that, Chris. But hold that thought. We're just going to take a quick music break and come back to our conversation in a few minutes. This week's incredibly talented entrepreneur, this week's boss star, is Annie Kiko, the creator of True Voice Global. Now, Annie Kiko is a mind-body alignment mentor who works with business owners and entrepreneurs to accelerate their next level or stabilize in their current growth. But when Annie Kiko isn't helping business owners reduce stress and increase transformation, she's in the studio producing some marvelous music. Here she is singing Livewire. Take it away.
Hi, my name's Julian Leach. I'm co-founder and CEO at Parcel Point, and my Friday would not be complete without Kizzy's Friday Game Changers.
This desire, like a fire running through my veins, electrified. You connect me to your power, keep me charging up for hours. I feel I'm a live wire. I'm a live wire. This desire, like a fire running through my veins, electrified. Connect me to your power, keep me charging up for hours. I feel I'm a live wire. I'm a live wire. Connect me to your power, keep me charging up for hours. I feel I'm a live wire.
I'm Kenneth Hafianyo, the founder of Jogwefa, an ethical fashion brand based in Ho, Volta region, Ghana. My Friday is never the same without Kizzy's Friday Game Changers.
The world famous Game Changers Show. Game Changers Show. Game Changers Show.
I'm a live wire.
Hi Karen, I hardly recognise you in this shiny new sports car. When did you pick it up?
Hi Louise. Yes, it's me. I picked up this beauty just last week. Do you remember that decade's top 10 finance specialist I put myself up for a few months ago?
Yes, I do. Why?
Well, I was nominated in the final top 10.
Really?
Yes, I couldn't believe it either. But the amazing thing was, after I was nominated as one of the decade's top 10 finance specialists, everything just seemed to happen. I landed a huge 5-year consultancy contract, I was being interviewed on radio and TV, we moved to that new office complex on the harbour, and just a few weeks ago I made enough money to put a down payment on this lovely sports convertible, in my favourite colour of course, red.
Well done you. I was thinking about that decade's top 10 finance specialist showcase.
Yes.
Well, I was thinking perhaps I'll enter myself this year. You never know. Have you got their contact details?
Well, I think they're having the awards this year. But the thing is, I think they're full, or the deadline's passed. Anyway, I can't remember where I put their contact details. I'll have a look and send you a postcard from Hawaii. Did I mention we're going to Hawaii this year? Anyway, I'll be in touch. Love you.
You've already done so much. Don't be left out. Nominate yourself, a colleague or a client for the decade's top 10 finance specialists 2019. An award could just change your life. Email hellomoneyandfinance@outlook.com or visit www.moneyandfinancemagazine.com. An award could just change your life.
Welcome back. Before the break, you were listening to Annie Kiko, the creator of True Voice Global, singing Livewire. I'm in the studio talking to Chris Barez-Brown, founder of personal energy business Upping Your Elvis. Now, Chris, we're moving into a section of the show called Past, Present and Future. The idea is pretty simple. I'm going to ask you 3 questions about your business past, your business present and your business future. Hopefully, the questions and their answers will help us unlock the mystery of Chris Barez-Brown. Do you see how I built you up there? The mystery that...
I love that, Kizzy. I wish you just travelled everywhere with me.
I'll be your personal publicist. Right, okay, here we go. Now, you've got to imagine, Chris, that you can hear the sound of a clock ticking in the background. That's the sound of time ticking by second after second.
I can hear it.
All right, are you ready? Are you feeling good?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Let's start with the past. Imagine yourself traveling back in time to meet the young Chris Barez-Brown. You've left the army, you've worked successfully in brand management, innovation and leadership development. You and your best friend Jim Lusty are in a pub talking about this crazy idea of setting up your own business consultancy. What would you tell the young Chris Barez-Brown to make sure he does, and what would you tell him to make sure he doesn't do?
Good question. Well, the first thing I'd say is put that beer down. It doesn't help you at all, which is learning that comes later in life, I think. Get out of the pub and do something is useful advice. As far as doing stuff, my number one tip would be this: stop worrying about it. Because I think when we're doing something new and different, we cannot help but engage all of our mental faculties in concern and anxiety and working out why things won't work. And the truth of it is things do work. And actually, if you just have faith in that, it changes your whole energy in the way you set up. So what I'd say is just jump in, go bigger, have more fun with it, see it more as a game. And the don't bit would be don't have the anxiety, don't worry about it. And also on the don't bit, I'd say don't try and do it all yourself. So I think when I started out, I ran my finances, I did, the insurance and the IT, I did everything in the business, which is ridiculous because I'm rubbish at those, Kizzy. I don't know what I was thinking of. But at the time, you think, well, I've got to do that. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm setting up on my own, and I can't afford to spend money on other people. It's rubbish. Spend money on brilliant people that game change your business, and you will be forever grateful so that you can spend time on what counts. So those would be my tips there.
Well, fantastic advice. Don't mind me. I'm just writing all this down as you're saying it, Chris. This is going to be my personal business Bible that I'm going to be living by. My mate Chris says, stop worrying, jump in. Don't try and do it all by yourself. Pay for great people to work with you and get the job done. I was just thinking that if somebody had told you this all those years ago, Chris, can you imagine how quickly your business would have blown up to become the massive success it is today?
It would make a big difference because that stuff just slows you down. Yeah.
It does indeed. Well, that's the past taken care of. Let's move into the present. Chris, who motivates you? Who's your role model?
I think I've got loads of role models. So people that motivate me, are everything. I mean, there's a lot of authors that I read and I love. I've been reading the Bruce Daisley book recently. Aubrey Marcus I've really enjoyed. There's a lot of stuff out there that I just soak up, and I find that very exciting. Jim Lusty, my business partner, is an inspiration. I have never met a more positive person in my life. I get to do work with him every single day, so that is super, super useful. My wife has an amazing business called Shine for Women with Caroline Whaley, and they're all about helping women get to the top, and the stuff they do is fantastic. So I'm very, very fortunate to have inspirational people around my life. And therefore, I think it's very easy to be a lot more positive when you've got these people around. Interestingly, there's a lot of research that shows if you surround yourself with negative people, you do become negative. There's a 100% chance that will happen. When you surround yourself with positive people, that's what you get. And I have been very, very deliberate in my life to make sure that I've got them, and I'm very grateful for it.
I couldn't agree with you more. Am I right in thinking that you're also an executive partner in Anna's program?
Well, I'm involved. So I helped design the first program, and I do support them. But to be honest, they do all the work. It would be very odd for me to be running women's programs. So I'm afraid I'm not allowed in the room, which you can probably understand, Kizzy.
No, I understand, because I think you distract. I think you distract everybody from their conversations. That's the truth of the matter.
I'd be nowhere near as good as they are. They are brilliant.
Well said. Well, and this is a man who will not be cooking his own dinner tonight. Top man. Okay, well, you've navigated your way through the past and present with expert ease. Let's move into the future. Chris, what would you like your legacy to be? How would you like to be remembered?
Really interesting. So there's a couple of things that I'm working on at the moment that I'm hoping will create that legacy. So the big passion area for me is about helping people just remember how amazing they are, remembering that this life is a game, and as long as they play it with fun and they play it with love in their heart, they can only win. And therefore, there's a couple of things that I'm trying to get out there that are a lot more about changing the lives of millions of people as opposed to thousands, which is what I do now. So we've got a new book that I'm working on, which is called Fizz, which will be coming out hopefully next year, which is about just taking some of the simple principles and just giving it to everybody who just wants a little bit more from every day. So that's all very exciting because it's simple stuff you can do every day. But then the other thing that I'm deeply, deeply passionate about is our charity Talk It Out, which is a mental well-being approach that kind of does for our minds a bit like exercise and nutrition does for our bodies. And it's free. We're trying to get out to 10 million people in the next 3 years. And it's a very simple walking, talking exercise that I think is an absolute game changer for us, just making sure we've got clarity on who we are, where we're going, and we just get our mind to declutter and just to touch in with what's important to us, as opposed to how a lot of people spend their lives, which is muddled, confused, incredibly busy, and quite stressed. So if I can have a legacy, I would just love tens of millions of people around the planet to have taken part in that and found that it's helped their life in some way. And if that can happen, I will die a very happy man, Kizzy.
I have a very strong feeling that you're not just going to meet those goals, Chris, but you are going to exceed them. If anybody can, I'm pretty sure you can.
Well, I do hope so. And I'm going to make sure that all my energy goes into making sure it happens. So yeah, onwards and upwards. And if anyone listening can help with that, anyone in any organizations that would like to get involved, it's all for free. We've got everything to help you partner with us to make sure you can get people involved. And it can only do good. So you do get in touch. Just check us out on talkitout.org.
I'm just making a quick note of that, talkitout.org, for anybody who wants to partner with Chris in his mission to change the world. If you do lend him a hand, it will make it much easier. But I've got a feeling it's going to happen anyway. Chris, it's been a phenomenal pleasure talking to you. So inspiring. And I'm pretty sure that our listeners have enjoyed it as much as I have.
I've loved it, Kizzy. Thanks so much for having me on.
The pleasure's all mine, Chris. Well, the most important thing I've learned from my conversation with Chris is that getting in balance isn't so much about adopting new strategies to change your behaviours. It's more about realigning yourself in all of your thoughts so as to create a balance between what you desire and how you conduct your life on a daily basis. It's a lesson that we all need to learn. Chris has, and I know you can too. Playing us out is the man himself, Chris Barez-Brown. As you know, in 2010, Chris established the consultancy Upping Your Elvis. The organisation collaborates with Nike, Unilever, Britvic, all the way up to The Guardian and even ITV. And his job is to increase the energy and creativity of the workforce. But when Chris isn't pumping up the workforce, he picks up a pen and microphone and produces nothing short of sheer magic. Here he is, Chris Barez-Brown, performing Come On Lady. See you next week right here on Kizzy's Friday Game Changers. Take it away, Chris.
You drive me crazy. It's nothing new. Don't wanna be anywhere if anywhere ain't with you, no. When you come around, my fists take flight. You make anything and everything alright. What you do makes everything okay. The light in your eyes makes my darkness go away. Come on, lady, come on down. I wanna show you around my side of town. Well, come on, lady, come on, play. I wanna show you my perfect day. This world we're living in, it makes no sense. People are so uptight, intense. When you come around, my panic goes. I love you, girl, from your head down to your toes. Yeah, what you do makes everything okay. The light in your eyes makes my darkness go away. Yeah, yeah. What you do makes everything alright. Yeah, when you're near, you know that the sun just shines so bright. Come on, lady, come on, play. I wanna show you my perfect day. Well, come on, lady, come on down. I wanna show you my side of town. Well, come on, lady, 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 now. Come on, lady, 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 now. Well, come on, lady, lady.
I'm Kate Bell, founder of Zip Us In, and I love listening to Kizzy's Friday Game Changers.
Come on.